This is William Richardson, the Money Doctor, the voice of reason, with your financial checkup and question of the day. I'm here with my daughter, Esther. Hello, Esther. How are you doing today?
Hi, Dad. It's great to be with you today.
Awesome. So what's the question of the day you have for me?
Okay, Dad. The question of the day comes from emails, messages, callers, and personal contact. Today's question is, what is the perfect way to fund an IRA?
That's a great question, Esther. Do you know what an IRA is?
I don't.
You don't? Well, most kids probably don't, and some adults actually don't know the best way to use it. So we'll answer that question, and you'll learn a lot from that. Thank you, Esther, for that question about IRAs. Not many people know fully how to use that correctly. So first of all, we're going to talk about the story about the penny and the farmer. And that'll kind of set the stage to talk about the different ways to fund the IRA, which I like to call a tax time bomb with the other qualified plans, even throwing the annuity in there, as we like that, but there's also a better way to do that. So the penny story. You take a penny and you have a choice of letting that penny double every day tax-free for 30 days, or take $1 million up front right away today. Now, what do? You know, a lot of people take the guarantee, right? Well, I'll take the $1 million. I want to be a millionaire today. Remember that TV show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'll take the $1 million today. But actually, if you will allow that penny to grow and double, and the magic of compounding to allow things to compound over time, at the end of 30 days, that penny doubling and doubling and doubling will end up at a whopping $5,368,000. It's a lot of money. Now think about this, what taxes do. So everyone focuses on the rate of return. I need to have my money grow. I need this the best rate I can. But this is what taxes does. This is how tax erodes your huge money in the future, and that's why we're going to talk about farmer story here in a second. Tax that $5 million at only 25%, actually $1,278 to be exact. Go ahead and tax that money again as it's doubling. So every time it doubles, you tax it, so you're not allowing that growth to continue without being taxed. You tax that 35%. What do you think we come up with? $800? $500? $300? It actually drops down to $20. So that's what's happening with your money as you put it into accounts that are taxing. Now let's take a different look at this. Just for fun, let's look at a dollar. So let's say we take a dollar and we allow that dollar to double for 20 periods. So every 20 periods it's doubling, and we're allowing that money to grow tax deferred, so it's not having taxes on it every time it doubles for 20 periods. What will you get? At the end of 20 periods, you'll get $1 million. That $1 will grow on 20 periods to $1 million. If we tax it at an average tax rate of only 27%, what do we end up with? How much did we lose? Because it's actually $1,048,576 to be exact. We actually end up with the taxation part of it. Every time we're doubling taxing, we'll end up with $57,000. So we lose $1 million. So that's the devastation that happens with taxes. And so everyone's always focusing on rate, opportunity, and they forget about taxes. Now, Uncle Sam doesn't forget about taxes. That's why he allows you to put your money into these taxable accounts. So really, whose account are you funding, as I like to say? Is it your account or is it Uncle Sam's account? Really ponder and think about this. Now let's go to the story about the farmer. So you have an opportunity, and that you're a farmer and you have your seeds, and you can pay tax on the seeds today, knowing what the tax rate is, whether that is at a 28% tax rate for you or a 50% tax rate for you, whatever you happen to be at. Or you grow your harvest, and in a later date, the government comes back and says, well, the taxes are this to date, you're paying the same amount or more. Chances are you're going to be paying more. When is taxes gone down for you as a whole. They generally continue to rise. And today you have control. You have control because you know what you're going to pay today. In the future, could it be lower? It's possible, not likely. Most likely it's going to be higher. So when you want to make a decision on when you're paying the tax, a logical thing would be to pay tax on the seed that you're controlling today. Otherwise, you're paying tax on the harvest, which is a larger amount of money, and you're going to lose in certain circumstances if this money passes on improperly at death up to 85% taxes. Well, even if you're down in just 30% tax or 50% tax, do you want to have your $1 million per se? Most of you are going to need more than that, but let's just use $1 million to work with. Do you want to take home half of that or a third of that? By making a decision today to bite the bullet, pay the tax today, make sense with that, or even look at your IRA and decide, do I want to roll this IRA over to another account? Do I want to pay some of the taxes today, knowing what they are going to be, and allow to reposition those assets into a side fund so that I know that I can grow tax deferred, it's accessible, it's a good rate of return, it's protected, upside potential, and self-completing. If something happens to me, my entire financial plan is self-completing. My family's taken care of, my house will be paid off, all of my debts will be taken care of. Or do you want to let that money grow? And in many cases, you're probably paying a management fee of 1 to 5% on that money. And as that money continues to grow and get larger and larger, what happens to your management fee? Well, it's actually, you're paying a larger amount on a larger amount of money, and it continues to grow. If you're able to take that money and break it up and pay the taxes on it and pay the fees and the loads that are associated with it up front today, would you be in a better position? I'd like to say most of you would, if we look at it on an individual basis and see what's best for your family. So once again, would you rather pay the tax on the seed or the harvest? I think most of you, once you understand that, will pick paying taxes on the seed. So the question here that we had, the question of the day is, how do we fund? What is the best way for us to fund our IRA and where to put that money? Now, you do have an option with the IRA because it is what we consider a tax time bomb. Now, do you have that money growing in the market? Do you have your IRA attached to real estate? Do you have your IRA attached to gold, or do you have it attached to the stock market? Or do you have more than one IRA and attached to all of them? That's a decision you're going to have to make once you sit down with your advisor and decide what the best thing to do. Strictly, if you're having the money in the market, is there a better way to protect your basis, to protect your principal? There is. It's another tax time bomb, but you have an opportunity for your principal to be protected and locked in, and that would be using an annuity with an insurance company. You're still going to have the same tax situation because that money is growing tax deferred, and the taxes need to be paid as that money is coming out. The difference is your principal can be protected and your upsides can be protected. And so we look back into the market and we can clearly look back to what happened in 2008. How many of you lost money? So if you say, I didn't lose any money, then where was your money invested? Were you investing it? Was someone else investing it? Most people lost a percentage of their money. The average American family that had their money in the market took a dive, and it took several years for them to get back to zero. Now they're just starting to continue to grow and do well. So you have an option to not have that happen. It's still a tax time bomb. We always can go back to our side fund, having our money grow in a tax advantage vehicle, which will be the best thing in the future for most people, but everyone needs to look at their own personal situation. So what we learned today, the IRA is a tax time bomb. You got to decide when you want that bomb to go off, today or tomorrow, but it has to go off. And with that said, keep your money safe.
Living with purpose and real intent. If you're as concerned as I am, and you're not the type to sit around and wait for something to happen, there's something you can do. A special gift invitation. How to get growth, protection, and income for your money. Send a request for a special promo code to watch this new online video training series absolutely free in the comfort of your home or office. You will learn how hardworking American families protect and control their retirement money and never expose it to stock market risk or massive taxation. Watch this free video series and learn the rules. Send requests to info@citizensfinancialsecurity.com. That's info@citizensfinancialsecurity.com to view video online. Video series is shared as a public benefit for enlightenment.
This is Esther Richardson, and you're listening to The Original Money Doctor with the financial checkup of the day. Ask about our educational, private, and public online seminars, video series, and live broadcasting events. Visit the event calendar at moneydoctoradvisor.com.
You've been listening to The Original Money Doctor, inspiring you to rise above it all and plan ahead with guaranteed success. William F. Richardson is The Original Money Doctor.